everybody, and welcome to Taff's Word, a long overdue one, I know. It's hard work. It's hard work to try and get these out, but I'm going to make more of an effort, trust me. I'm going to sort of break them down so I'm not doing long ones all the time. I'm going to try and do like brief match previews, brief match reviews, and then a monthly sort of review. This would be usually an August review. I'm just conscious of the fact that I've not really put one out for a while, so the monthly reviews will start at the end of September, but I'll do a pre-match review of each game, which I won't bother doing with this one, but you know, the one we got tomorrow, Crewe. I'll do a review of Crewe and my thoughts on it, and who I thought my player of the match was, and all that sort of wonderful stuff. And obviously the monthly reviews then will be the informative blogs that you're starting to get used to seeing from me. So since the last time I spoke on a blog, we signed Danny McNamara and Taylor Maloney. Danny McNamara here, as you can see now, just in case you don't know what he looks like, you should do by now, has made a fantastic start for us. And here obviously is Taylor Maloney, who has also made a decent start for us when he's actually played. He came on and looked okay against Walsall. I suspect we're going to see a lot more of him with the injuries that we've got coming up very soon. So we've played 5 matches so far. Our 6th match of the season is going to be tomorrow, our 7th coming on Tuesday. So 7 games in 1 month. That's quite frantic, really, isn't it? I don't think we'll have another month with as many games unless we have fixture pile-ups and another cup run later in the season. So first game was home to Mansfield, and we expected an obvious push for a big performance from them as an attempt to get some sort of revenge for knocking them out of the playoffs, going to Wembley instead of them. I think they fully expected to beat us. They didn't. And they came down, and the start couldn't have been any better for us. We got 2 early-ish goals. Ended up with a 2-goal lead at half-time. Goals from Labardi and an Hammond penalty. Unfortunately, a mad 5 minutes within the second half, seeing them pegged back. And it was a game that we dominated, but could have lost because we actually saved a penalty. Tom King made a mistake on one of their goals, and he rectified the mistake by saving the penalty. So all in all, before the game, I'd have said, you know, I'd have been happy with a draw. Because we were 2-0 up at half-time, I'm not happy with the draw. It feels like 2 points dropped. But before that, though, you know, it was very much a case of, you know, this will be a good draw because they will be a contender this season. But they're not really living up to much so far. You know, I think it's quite disappointing for them at the moment, considering the budget that they've got. So the next game of the season was our first away league game at Cambridge, a place that we don't typically tend to do that well at, but in the last couple of times we've been there, well, the last 3 times we've been there, we've actually won. We only drew 0-0. Cambridge look a much better outfit this season, so a 0-0 draw against them will seem like a decent result. So an away draw, always going to be happy with an away draw, got to be said. After Cambridge then, immediately in the week, we had the trip to Gillingham, which a crazy football match, seeing the game finish 2-2 with a penalty shootout, in which obviously we won. But we went 1 down to a penalty, then we brought it back to 1-1, then went 2-1 down to another penalty, whilst they missed a third. No, they had 3 penalties. Their second penalty they missed, the third one they scored past us. And then we had a penalty, and it was pretty much the last kick of the game as it goes. So we went straight to a penalty shootout, which we won. Which, we're looking like we're good at penalty shootouts. Before the playoffs last year, I'd only ever seen County in 2 penalty shootouts, which we'd lost both of. I believe both of them were Checker Trade Trophy. Obviously, the old Johnston's Paint Trophy, we lost to Swindon under Terry Butcher on a penalty shootout. And, of course, last season we lost against Cheltenham Town on a penalty shootout. We obviously beat Mansfield on a penalty shootout then in the playoffs, and now we won another one against Gillingham. And then that now sets up a glamorous Carabao Cup tie at Rodney Parade, which is guaranteed to be on the TV, as we know, against West Ham, which will bring a lot of old lads out of the woodwork, I'm sure. And of course, There's a big following for West Ham in Newport, so I'm sure that we will sell a lot of tickets for that, and we'll make a lot of money on the TV, of course. On that Saturday then, we came against Plymouth Argyle, who typically tend to do well against us. They came after winning their opening 2 games comfortably, sitting top of the league, expecting to come and win here at Ronnie Parade. They didn't. No, obviously we didn't see it that way, and we ended up beating them 1-0 in a game that they dominated the possession but didn't do much with it. Even though they dominated the possession, we still had the majority of the shots at goal. I think it was 17-15 in favour of us shots on goal. So just goes to show, and I've made the point on some Taff on routes and on Taff Live, that possession play is a dying strategy in football. Having the ball doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. It's what you do with the ball when you got it, what counts. And I think that's the way forward in football, is actually making something of your possession. So in high spirits then, getting our first league win of the season. We then went to Walsall, who've had a bit of an up and down start, but you can't really read much into how people start in a season, because we've seen poor starts turn into glorious finishes, like Northampton when they won the league a few seasons back. Exeter when they made the playoffs for the first time. They started the season particularly poorly, and Walsall haven't really started the season badly, but I'd say that we've edged it, on who started better, and we drew 0-0 again. And for me, an away point is always a good point. You win your home games and you draw your away games, you're going to be there or thereabouts at the end. So I can't exactly say I'm disappointed with the results so far. It'd be nice to score a few more goals, but the fact we've only conceded 2, we've had 3 clean sheets, 2 of them away. The 3 goals is a little bit alarming, but with the quality of forwards we've got, I can only see this being a temporary goal blip. Following on from that, then tomorrow we're playing Crewe at home, another team who sit in top of the league. They've had a great start, but they did get pumped first game of the season by Plymouth. So just goes to show they're beatable, and that was at their grind and all. So we beat Plymouth, who pumped them. So naturally saying, we should be able to beat them. I mean, obviously it's not that clear cut or straightforward in football. It's never black and white like that. But at Ronnie Parade, you fancy us against anyone. I even fancy us against West Ham as it's going. Another player to add to the ranks tomorrow and all is Ryan Innes, on loan from Crystal Palace. He's a 24-year-old central defender who's played in this division for a couple of teams. I've seen him that he was at Port Vale and Colchester, just 2 of many teams he's been out on loan to. And coming from Crystal Palace, the fact that he's still there at 24 means there's something about him that Palace like. So maybe a bit of game time with us. He's here for the season. A bit of game time with us might see him in contention for first team spot at Palace next season, especially if they do go down, which is a possibility. But that's a different conversation for a different version of Taff's word. That is, so there we go. Innes will be in contention for a starting spot tomorrow against Crewe. I'm not going to do a full match review. I'm going to preview. Sorry, I'm going to do a review of the game tomorrow. So look out for that. Also, the guys at Amber Talk are going to be there and all. So make sure you all go down, find Ryan and Mike and Ruben, and go and talk to them about the game before and after. You can get on. And of course, both series, Taff's Word and Amber Talk, are both looking for sponsors at the moment. So feel free, if you are a business owner or you're in charge of a depot, something like that, where you've got a marketing budget, feel free to drop us a line on our email. It'll be countychoir1912@gmail.com. So thank you all for watching. For those going to the game tomorrow, I'll see you there. Make sure you come to me for the half-time draw ticket. And make sure if you don't come to me, you go to at least one of the other sellers. There's going to be plenty of us there on the day. And make sure we all roll the team on to another win at Ronnie Parade and extend our unbeaten run. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous, can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again, make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.